Have you ever been around a messy person? And there's two categories of a messy person. There's the messy person who does not like to stay clean, like they don't take care of their hygiene, they don't take care of their house or their car. They're just really messy, they're untidy, they're nasty, they're smelly, they're lazy. That's that type of messy. But then there's another type of messy. This is more of a personality defect. This is more of the spirit of a person when they take on a very toxic and negative attitude and behavior. And they don't like order. They don't like progress. They don't like peace. They love to disturb the peace. They love drama. They love chaos. They love to be messy. And I'm going to talk about the second category of people. But the second category of people, they can be also carriers of the first category, which are the people who are actually untidy, unclean, and don't take care of their hygiene. It actually all kind of goes in together. But specifically, I want to talk about the second category of messy people where their attitude and their behavior, their spirit is wicked, perverted. I'm going to talk about that kind of mess today. And as you can see the title, they love to be messy. I've learned from the best. I have learned from the best. That's one of my favorite songs by the artist and singer, the late, great Whitney Houston. I learned from the best. I can really relate to that song and that title. But kind of in the reverse. Like, how you learn from the best, where you really learn from people who are really amazing people, creative people, optimistic people, people who make innovative changes in this world to where it impacts themselves, but everybody else, to where they're able to optimize in life, be progressive. So you can learn from those type of people, and that's wonderful. But see, I also learned from the best from the opposite of an optimistic person. I learned from a pessimistic person. You see, I'm not new to messy people. I'm no novice to messy people. And I know that there's messy people who they look good on the outside. Some of them dress really well. Some of them are clean cut. They're always getting their hair and their nails done. They look like they got it together, but it's only a facade. When you really get a little bit closer to this person, you can feel something off about them. And what that off vibe is, it's the mess. You see, there's people who do not know that other people can read them. They think that as long as they look good, they can deceive people. They can hide their mess and they can get over on people. And they don't understand that there's people out here who already know about messy people. And so you may think that, oh, I look good and I'm presenting myself really well, so they won't know that I'm a messy person. And then you have the other type of messy person where they don't hide it. They just let you know, I'm out to get you. I don't care. I want to make your life miserable forever. So you have that kind of messy person too. And I've been around both kinds of people. So I'm not new to messy people at all. I'm not new to messy people at all. And I've learned from the best. I've learned from the best. Now, when I say the best, I don't mean like these people are better than me or better than other people. Actually, these people are not in very good places in life. They're really in a very bad place in life, and that's why they're so messy. I have been around a lot of messy people, and I learned from them. I know their character. I know their ways. I know a messy person without knowing their name. Yeah, I do. I've been around messy people all my life. Now, why have I been around messy people all my life? Well, because we live in a world that has messy people. You really can't avoid them. There's some people who they've been around people who are not messy, and they pretty much know people who are pretty decent people. And that's really fortunate for them. So they may not really be exposed to the messiness out there. Now, it doesn't mean that they're weak people or that they're naive. It's just that they have a different experience. But since I've been around messy people, I'm able to pick up the mess and see the mess and know the mess, pinpoint the mess, and I know how to deal with the mess. See, messy people love to be messy. You won't be able to control messy people because messy people love to control people. They all have that one trait in common. They love to control people, but they have no self-control. And that's the hypocrisy in the nature of a messy person. They have no self-control, no inner control, no inner peace. But this leads them to have a strong urge to control other people because they live in fear. They also do not know how to handle the unplanned circumstances. Messy people don't like surprises. They don't like surprises. They like to know everything. They like to plan everything. They like to strategize everything because they want to know exactly what is about to happen. But they don't want you to know what is about to happen. Or they want to blindside you. They want to leave you in the dark so they can take over you. That's what messy people do. And messy people, they love to trick people. They love to deceive people. They love to hurt people. They love to provoke people to anger. They love to see people unhappy because messy people lack joy. Messy people lack being fulfilled. They are very void. They're empty. They're skeletons. So the only way that they can eat is they have to go out and find food. And their food is people who are not messy. Yes, that's right. Messy people are attracted to people who are not messy because they have to steal that positive light. And the way they do that is they like to cause drama and chaos. They like to cause pain and confusion because when they get a reaction out of you, that makes them feel good. They get a false sense of happiness because of your reaction. They are 100% reliant on another person to make them feel good. So messy people are always empty. They don't have the confidence and the self-control and the self-love to be whole, to operate alone. As a matter of fact, messy people usually always have to be around other people. They hate to be alone. Now, there are some who are very isolated. There's some who they never come out of the house. They're usually by themselves often. But what I mean by they hate to be alone, they can't stay by themselves for long, is even if they are isolated, even if they prefer to be to themselves, they still have to have some type of contact with people who are not messy because they thrive off their positive energy. They hate the positive energy, but they're also attracted to the positive energy at the same time because the person who is a very positive person, a person who is very innovative and creative and optimistic, and who is at peace with themselves, they are whole people. They are full people. They don't have to create drama and mess because their life is already fulfilled. And so a messy person must take from that person who is not messy in order to make it through another day. A messy person is not self-reliant. A messy person is not able to be independent. They have to use people in order to survive. And that's why they are not able to stay to themselves too long. Like they go into hibernation, and some of them actually, if they're not alone by themselves. Like there's a term called a hermit, Hermit. A lot of messy people are hermits, but they still have to have some form of contact with people. Usually they are very optimistic, positive people that they have to get in touch with. So whether that's they get in touch with you because they're in your family, because you have messy people in your family, or maybe they're messy people that you work with. So when you go to work and it's usually that person who never likes to speak to you, but they make sure that you notice them because they usually like to say something very derogatory to you. Well, that's because they love to be messy and they have to feed off of your positive energy because they're completely drained. And so they have to be around you. They can't wait until the weekend is over, or they can't wait till the holiday season is over, because they have to see you. They have to be around you because they're starving. They're just void. They're about to completely lose control because messy people have no self-control. They're easily angered. You see, it's not hard to provoke a messy person. And the really interesting and ironic situation with a messy person is they love to cause other people to become angry and upset to the point where they lose control. And the reason why messy people love to see people lose control is because they have no self-control. And if they can make someone else lose control, then that makes them feel better about themselves because they have someone else who is just like them. But you're not the person who they caused to become upset, the person that they poked the bear. You know, when you poke the bear, you keep doing and saying things to get a negative reaction. Well, a messy person has to work very hard to get a positive person to react. But what they fail to understand is being angry is not a negative reaction. Being angry is actually a very positive reaction because having anger is a very healthy quality. Being angry allows you to recognize that something is wrong. And being angry allows you to feel. But messy people, they're past being angry. They have bitterness. And they also have malice in their heart. So they are no longer angry. They're out of control. And they think that when they make a person angry, that they've made that person out of control. Well, no, the person that they are poking the bear on, they're not out of control. They're people who are in self-control. And being angry is a very healthy quality of a person. But when you are angry, positive people use their anger to their advantage. They actually pay attention to their anger and they find a solution to the problem which caused their anger. So that makes them very wise and in self-control. And you keep your peace. And that actually causes the messy person to become very agitated. They become infuriated. They're full of wrath. So they never actually succeed with the optimistic person, because the optimistic person never loses self-control. But the messy person never has self-control. So they always have to depend on the optimistic person, the person who is fulfilled, in order for them to make it another day. You see, a messy person doesn't know how to live a positive life, not because they're incapable of doing so. They just refuse. It's easier for them to cause chaos and drama and lash out on innocent people, because they rarely will lash out on another messy person. And here's why. Because messy people know that other messy people are on their same level. So what's the fun in creating drama with another messy person? They know that it won't end well. You see, when two messy people are together, there's going to be an outcome that is quite disastrous. And messy people know that. So messy people don't like to mess with other messy people, because they will destroy each other. And a messy person doesn't like to lose, but they're deceived because they've already lost. I was reading a scripture, and it was through the AI overview, and it was very interesting, and it perfectly describes the messy person and why they love to be messy. And so the AI overview says the Bible verse that mentions people loving darkness is John 3, verse 19, which states, "And this is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and people loved the darkness rather than the light, because their works were evil." And then here's some commentary about that scripture. In the Bible, darkness is a spiritual term that represents ignorance, error, or evil. The way of light is associated with truth and righteousness, while the way of darkness is associated with wickedness and falsehood. The verse continues in John chapter 3, verse 20 through 21. "For everyone practicing evil hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his deeds should be exposed. But he that doeth the truth cometh to the light, that his works may be made manifest, that they have been root in God." So that's the difference between light and darkness. The light represents basically the positive, optimistic, truthful, and honest and righteous deeds that a person commits to. So the light is the character. The light is the behavior. The light is the spirit of a person. And the darkness also represents the spirit of a person. As it mentions, darkness is associated with wickedness and falsehood. So they are wicked and they're false. They don't like the truth. They don't like anything that's positive. If you've ever talked to a person who is messy, they don't like to be told the truth. They don't like to be corrected. And they hate to see things going well and functioning smoothly in life. And the reason why is because they love chaos. They love drama. So that's why they're always out looking to poke the bear. They're like a fiend. They can't function without causing problems for other people. So messy people, they don't tend to stay to themselves. Some of them, yes, I said, are hermits. Some of them are very isolated. And the reason why mainly is because they like to hide in the darkness. They love to hide in the darkness. But when they are not necessarily hermits, they may, for example, be married, because a lot of messy people, they don't like to be alone. They have to be in relationships all the time. Many of them are married, or they're just dating someone. They're never by themselves because they're very insecure. They live in fear. So the presence of another person makes them feel a sense of comfort. And they usually like to put on appearances. As I mentioned earlier, they like to dress well usually, or, maybe they are into materialistic things. They're into making money. They're into driving the best cars, having the finest house, the jewelry, the clothes, the makeup, the hair, the nails, the shoes. Whatever they can possess that they believe is going to impress people, they're into it. And it's a scheme to be able to deceive people, because they love to do their mess, but they have to hide it. They have to basically sneak around and do their mess. And then when they feel like they've got you in a place where they can come out and attack you, that's what they do. They love to just, as I mentioned earlier, messy people don't like surprises. They hate surprises, but they love to surprise other people with their mess. Like, they get a thrill, a kick out of like making you think they're one way. And then when they see that you fall for whatever strategy that they've implanted, and they see that you trust them, you've opened up to them, they see that you maybe are in a position where you're very vulnerable or you're dependent upon them. Messy people love to attack vulnerable people or marginalized people. For example, if you are someone who maybe has a disability, or maybe you're in a position where your health is failing you, or you are someone who is maybe different, maybe you are a same-sex attracted person, such as a homosexual or bisexual person or a trans person, they love to really attack people who are also like, young, because they know that you're still under the influence of your parents or caregivers. They love to be able to be around and attack people who they think are at a disadvantage in some form or fashion. So like, it could be your race. Like, if you are a person of the Black race or any other type of race that is minority, if they are, for example, someone who is empowered, or they feel like they're superior to you because of their race, like if they're white or Caucasian and they think they're superior over any other race, it could be that They think since you are a woman or a female, they think that you are weak. They think that you're dumb, and they think that they're better than you. They're very misogynistic, and this can be a male or a female, because there's males and there's females who are misogynistic. They think that women are inferior. They do not like women. They despise women, and they attack women because they know that women don't have as much power in a world that is male dominated. And so these type of groups are usually attacked by messy people. But messy people fail to realize that the people who they think are weak, marginalized, and inferior, they know a messy person when they see one. Like I mentioned earlier, I learned from the best. I've been around what people call narcissists all my life. I know how they operate. I know how they think. And a lot of people who are messy or who have narcissistic characteristics, they think that because they're messy, that they can overpower you. And they know that you're a optimistic, positive person, so they love to attack you. But they fail to realize that you're learning from them. You know what's going on. And messy people, they're easily angered. Like, you can really control a messy person. It's not hard to cause a messy person to lose their mind. And they end up getting in trouble. See, they try to cause you trouble, but they end up falling into their own traps. It's actually very spiritual. It's there are some biblical truths that people overlook or they forget about, and it always prevails. It never happens. I have always witnessed messy people fall into their own trap because it's biblical. Like the holy word of God says, you reap what you sow. So if you sow good, you reap good. If you sow bad, you reap bad. It's a biblical principle, a biblical law. It's actually inevitable. So I always think it's interesting how messy people operate, because they never learn. But positive people, light people, they always learn. And that's why I say I learn from the best. Because I do. I learn from the best. I learn from narcissists. I do. I learn from messy people. Because I know that they're the weak ones. They're disempowered. And they never win. They love to be messy. And I always just accept the truth. I know that messy people will always be around. And I was looking at some content online on social media. And I've also received some comments from messy people. And there's a lot of mess going on right now, and it's gonna be even more mess come 2025 because of the new president-elect. And I was on TikTok, and it was this guy. He was actually a Hispanic guy. It's actually trending. And he was basically saying, oh, you thought I was your friend. You thought that I was on your side. He said, but I got you. And he started smiling big, and he put on a red hat with white letters that said, Make America Great Again. And he said, it's open season. And I've been seeing a lot of people saying it's open season. And what open season means, it means it's a period of time now where they can attack all game, which are preserved and protected animals and wildlife. It means they can attack them fully and destroy them. So whenever you see people online, or if you hear anybody say it, it's open season, they're referring to the fact that they're going to attack and destroy as many people as they want to. And this attitude is coming from the fact that they believe that this man who they voted for is in power, and they feel empowered from this man. And they want to go out and attack people for no reason. They want to treat people like game, animals, wildlife, protected wildlife. They view people as animals that they can destroy. So you already know that kind of mentality is a very perverted, sick, wicked mentality. So when you hear somebody say it's open season, just know they love to be messy. But they always fall into their traps. Stay positive, be light, be love, protect yourself. Oh, we know how to protect ourselves. And don't get it twisted. Don't let this pretty smile fool you. I am Giselle Wallace, certified life coach and author. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share this video. And if you need to get in touch with me, email me. Email in. My email address is info at GiselleAWallace.com. I'm actually doing some rebranding. I was having some technical difficulties, not with my website. There is a email marketing service that I was using that is actually having technical difficulty. So I appreciate everyone who has signed up on my mailing list and you've received your 7 free affirmations guide. And if you are not able to sign up, I do apologize for the inconvenience. It's because of the email marketing service that is having some system failure. However, my website is fine, but that's why I'm recommending that you email in to me to contact me. Again, my email address is info@GiselleAWallace.com. You can see my email address in the description box below this video. Peace, be safe. I am Giselle Wallace. Take care of yourself.